This year we're hosting FLL, the LEGO League, at our school. And
that's for the middle schools, by the way. We're trying to get younger people involved at a younger age so they can graduate back up.
We also did Interveiw. Have you heard of that? Okay, well what it is we basically, it's kind of like this where we come up with like an obstacle that you have to do, except like you can build your robot at home, but a lot of people will build their robots there. It's mostly for like teams that have just started and don't really know what they're doing, so that way we can have people like us help them who actually know how to do it. And like one of the teams from West didn't really know what they were doing, so they came and we were helping them, and we actually kind of prepared them for this. Like they didn't know they were supposed to have the robot set up ahead of time. We helped them with it. So I mean, it really helps like build good relationships with other teams and stuff like that, and help other schools get really good robotics teams, just so Forsyth can be like great robotics kind of place.
Yeah, we're trying to not make it so much competition as everybody helps everybody else. In Interveiw, you have people from another team helping another team build their robot, and you have people just playing around with each other and they're just having a good time. So try and focus on the actual teamwork part of it.
We incorporated that into BEST when we when we got, just after the kickoff. Thank you. Just after the kickoff, we went over to West Forsyth and we held a brainstorming session over there where everyone came up with their own ideas, and it got us started on ideas for the rest of the sessions.
How many schools were there? Was it just us and West?
It was
And Central, right?
It was just us, West, and Central.
And North.
It was North there?
Central was the really little one.
It was,
Yeah, we try to like, all of Forsyth, we kind of help each other out. Like, if they need, like we'll build part of the course for BEST, and if they want to use it, they can come and use it. And if they have some tools that we don't have, they'll let us use it. So we make sure that like, because no one can really afford to have all of the tools necessary to do like everything. So I mean, it's pretty good when we all help each other out with it, because then instead of all of us getting last place, we all end up getting in like the top 5. So we're not really competing against each other. Like, we'll cheer on their teams too.
It actually started all Forsyth, South Forsyth, all the Forsyth County high school teams all formed one team called the Forsyth Alliance, and that became an issue because everybody was getting all power hungry. So now we have an alliance between all the Forsyth schools, and that's working out way better. Instead of having one team with just a powerhouse, we have a bunch of teams all helping each other, and it's all great.
Especially driving distance, it made it really difficult for a lot of people to join because they couldn't drive that far all the time. And so it kind of like limited the number of people that could get interested in robotics.
So we all took a bus, actually, all
shared a bus
south and
North.
Forsyth and north and
west.
west. We all took one bus over here.
So much more about group activities than individuality.
I guess we can move on to the engineering topics.
Okay.
We had an engineering team because we realized that some people felt that they'd be more comfortable doing the marketing, some people felt they'd be more comfortable doing other like service projects and stuff. And we had a group of teams, me, myself, Taylor, and a few other people that are out there actually working on the robot right now. We built an actual engineering team that we did trial and error, and we incorporated with the marketing team. She's in charge of the marketing team. And we actually have our sponsors, and we have everything coordinated between both teams so that it all comes together, but we have separate teams so everybody is able to express their strengths. They don't necessarily have to deal with their weaknesses. Because I myself am not too great with the marketing part, but I'm pretty good with the engineering. So like that's why I chose to go into the engineering team, and that's just everybody went to their own teams, and we had just everybody, the teams worked out great.
And that reflects a lot of what we did with the other 2 schools, the other 3 schools rather. In that we have separate teams, the engineering team, the marketing team, the finance team. However, as we approached the deadlines, we began to come together and work together to make sure everything got done as a whole, but it was still divide and conquer.
Another thing on that, like we originally, when we signed up, there was a whole confusion thing because of the alliance, so we actually didn't get our name like on the sign-up sheet, so they didn't have all the materials ready for us right away. So that was kind of one of those things we had to overcome, and because of the Alliance, we were able to overcome that. They would let us borrow their materials so we could experiment with them and stuff like that until we actually received them. So it was really good. And also on the building and marketing team, a lot of people, it's not that the teams are completely separate. Like if I have a suggestion for building, they'll definitely take it into consideration. If they have a thing for marketing, we definitely will. And it works out really good. And also, like originally we had like no girls in robotics, and now honestly it's almost half girls.
50%.
Yeah,
Because we have a marketing team and an engineering team, and so the girls feel more comfortable in the marketing.
A lot of the girls, they're like, oh, they're not going to let me build, and we will let them. And also, like they like designing the t-shirts and stuff like that. So we can really incorporate a bunch of different kinds of people who are interested in different kinds of things and see how working with robotics, even if it's not specifically building or programming, is still applicable to everyday life and anything that you want to do.
So yeah, the engineering team, we can move on to that.
We had a brainstorming
We
process.
had a brainstorming process with all the schools all together, and then we took each school took their favorite ideas, and then when we got back to our school, we crossed out the ideas that we thought would be too hard to make or just too inefficient, and we actually pulled forward onto making those, and we just went on through a trial and error type of method. We had a simple fork design that just had forks go straight out to begin with, and the forks would be too short, and the plane would actually fall off the edge, and so we ended up
We moved them to the side of the robot mainly because it gave us more room. Our robot was fairly long.